Wentz Financial Group presents Zips Basketball Weekly with John Groce. Contributing sponsors include Akron Children's Hospital, Bryant Heating and Cooling, and the Spaghetti Warehouse. Now here's your host, Joe Dunn.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Zips Basketball Weekly with head coach John Groce, brought to you all season long by the Wentz Financial Group. Well, the Zips right now are 11-4 overall, 9-3 in the Mid-American Conference, but just one game this week. That'll be Friday night down in Oxford against Miami, nationally televised game again. Coach, last week you sat in that chair and said this was the most challenging week of the season. Tough loss at Toledo, but boy, the week finished strong. Great win over Kent State.
Yeah, we were able to split, obviously, against two great opponents. We played some good basketball at times, Joe. There were some times where we struggled a bit. You know, we tied the Toledo game on Tuesday night at 61-all with 10 minutes to go and didn't play very well over a 4 or 5 minute stretch there that ended up being the difference in the game. And then in the Kent game, I thought we were terrific in the first half. And then the second half, we weren't quite as good. So we're still searching for some consistency, but it was great to get a split this week in two very, very challenging games.
Coach, I love your philosophy because after Tuesday's game against Toledo, everybody put so much into that game. You lose it, but you got to come back 3 or 4 days later and play Kent State. Your philosophy is go 1-0 the next game, 1-0 the next game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially at this point. And I talked to them when we got back from Toledo on Wednesday. Look, guys, I know you're disappointed. We went through what we went through for a reason. We'll figure out how to get better. But we've got a rivalry game on Friday night. We got to make sure that we're ready to go, and we're moving on to the next. We're going to learn first with the film today, and then we're moving. And so we try to take that approach regardless of circumstance or regardless of win or loss, and try to look at it for what it is. We talk about owning everything, and I want them to learn that skill. That's how you get better, whether it's life, basketball, or as a student.
Sure. Coach, just one game this week. That'll be Friday down in Miami. We'll talk about that one a little bit later. But the original schedule had us going to Ohio on Tuesday. You get a whole week to get ready, but I'm guessing you'd rather play twice a week.
Well, we would, but I will tell you, it's a good – I'm looking at it as glass half full type of deal where we're going to have a chance to actually practice and work on ourselves. And there's some things, as you saw firsthand from sitting there with us the last couple games, where we've got to get better, you know, whether that's post defense, whether that's positioning, whether that's execution of our sets, you know, whether that's press offense, whether that's time and score situations like we saw at the end of the Kent game where I thought we should have executed a little bit better. So we'll get an opportunity to focus on those things without talking about an opponent until the middle of the week. And I think that could be beneficial for us.
Okay, there you go. We'll talk about Miami a little bit later in the program. But right now, let's go back up to Toledo on Tuesday night, pick up highlights from that big game for the Rockets. And, Coach, this was really a battle for first place in the league.
Yeah, no, it was. And our guys knew it. They certainly knew it. Obviously, you know, there's a pride factor certainly for both teams in playing in a challenging game like that. And for Toledo, you know, who obviously we had beaten them the first go-round here at home. I thought our defensive details really at the end of the day is what did us in, Joe. We didn't grade out very well. I didn't think we were as detailed defensively as we had been during the 6-game win streak holistically, and it cost us. We had some shots that we didn't make during that stretch I talked about where it was 61-all, and over about a 3 or 4 minute stretch, Littleson made a couple big ones, and we didn't make shots, and that ended up being the difference in the game.
It looked like we came out with a lot of energy, Coach. Bench was into it. Coach is into it. Brian Trimble, as we saw, hit a big three. Akron takes a lead, and then the Rockets go on a 6-0 run and really have a pretty good first half.
Yeah, no, they did. Offensively, they were really difficult to deal with. They did a great job spreading us out. I thought that we weren't tight enough defensively and, just didn't execute as well as we needed to on that end of the floor.
They shot about 55% from the field in the first half. They were really shooting the ball well, and we're down at the half. But come back in that second half. We're going to see a second half that you come out with a lot of energy in the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, we have a resilient group, man, a group that plays with a lot of pride and takes a lot of pride in putting that uniform on. And I think after 4 years now of the culture being developed, we expect to win and play well, and And we knew we didn't play very well in the first half. I thought our response to that was great in the second half. Not surprising. We have a very resilient bunch.
Yep. Akron goes from 14 down to 8 down at 55-47. Zips on a 9-0 run. Then he cut that rocket lead to 5. And then I think Enrique Freeman's the guy with the big offensive rebound to put back, and all of a sudden we're tied at 61.
Yeah, no, we fought and clawed back, obviously, and then all of a sudden you use all that energy to tie the thing up after being down double figures there in the second half, and then they go on a run with, like I said, a couple Littleson jumpers. He's really, man, is he a good player, both offensively and defensively. I thought he impacted us that night. And then we didn't make shots. Ali had a wide open top of the key 3. We had a little floater in front of the rim. We had a daily wide open 3 in front of the bench during that stretch. We just didn't make them, and then they made shots. So that allowed them to get their distance back there and get it back up to double figures with about 6 to go.
As we said, it was tied at 61. And as you mentioned, Spencer Littleson with back-to-back threes, and all of a sudden the Rockets are up 69-61. And that's tough. After you come all the way back on the road, Coach, you use a ton of energy to tie it. Is it mentally sometimes tough to come back after it's tied or not?
Yeah, it's both. You got to have, obviously, the mental toughness piece. And there you see the distance there, those last 2 clips. It was 61 all, and now 4 minutes later it's 73-63. But, yeah, there's a mental toughness aspect to it for sure, to keep fighting and to keep swinging. And, you know, our guys have done that really all year. Like I said, we have some competitive guys that take a lot of pride in competing and loving challenges. But what I tell them is when you're in big-time games like that one on Tuesday night, effort, toughness certainly matters.
Yeah.
You have to start there. But you also have to execute, and you have to do your job, and you have to do it really well with some discipline and details, and that's where I thought we suffered a little bit on Tuesday night. But, you know, a great learning experience for us, and hopefully it'll make us better here by going through it.
Yeah, Lord Christian Jackson ends up with 32. Brian Trimble with 14. The Zips lose the tough one against Toledo. Might not be the last time we see those guys, so we'll find out a little bit later in the year. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with our features on our newest members of the Zip basketball program. Brian Trimble, young man out of Kansas City via St. John's University. We're going to come back and meet that young man right after this timeout.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
This is my back before surgery, and then this was it after. These things are in my back right now, helping keep it straight so I get to go back to dance with my friends.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you, Chloe. From my perspective, there is nothing that I wouldn't let you do. Really, all the credit for how well you're doing is just you and how hard you've worked to get back to where you are. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Basketball Weekly. Brian Trimble. Coach, I heard a lot of good things about him before the season started. He was an unbelievable shooter, but he's proven to me, and you've said it many times, one of the best shooters you've ever coached.
No, he's a big-time shot maker, and he makes some that, you know, are really challenging for most guys. And we saw that last year during the sit-out year. Yeah. We were just talking a little bit off the air there. I mean, he's had 4 games to this juncture where he's made 6 for 6, and then 3 other games where he had 7 or more made threes at or better than 50%. I mean, that's ridiculous shooting percentage and efficiency. So the thing he's gotten a lot better at is he's learned to be a little bit better on the defensive end with some of his details. And so now he's starting to play both ends of the floor for us, and obviously he's a big part of what we do.
Exactly. Transferred from St. John's. Let's meet Brian Trimble right now.
It definitely was tough, but just like I said, having that mindset of just knowing how much better I needed to get, just the work I was putting in, and not only by myself, but I was with Maishi, and I feel like that made everything so much easier. Just not being by myself when guys are on the road, like I wasn't home alone, or me and Maishi still finding time to get in the gym. So I feel like just me having Maishi with me made things 10 times easier. My leadership on this team is pretty much just experience. Everyone, like I said, they listen to what I got to say. I've seen a lot. I've been in a lot of different situations. obviously coming from the level I was in and the minutes that I played and everything like that, but like I've been to the tournament, I've seen a lot, you know, like we just said, coming down from playing at that level, and I've played in a lot of games. You know, this is legit my 4th year in college, so technically I would be a senior this year. I think guys understand that, and they willing to hear what I gotta say. Me and Macy, we was finding a lot of time to be in the gym together and just find ways to make it easier for us, knowing that it wouldn't be easy coming into it, making that decision, and just, he came for, like, when we both got here, he was fresh out of the tournament, like he just made the tournament that year, I just made the tournament that year, so we both had a lot of similarities in that area. Both know the game well, and both love film, so like I said, if we wasn't in the gym, finding time to get in the gym, we was watching film or we was watching the game and he was reaching out to me, asking him out, seeing this person play or that person play. So I just think the chemistry clicked early. Since I've put on the Akron jersey, like I've never thought twice about a game, like I've never got goosebumps, like I've never and I just personally think it's due to the competition I've previously played against. Like I'm used to playing against the top 2, top 3 scorers in the country every year, you know, being in the Big East, you know, playing with Marcus Howard and the Mouse Powells and names like that. And like, I'm just like, it's just, I've seen it. Like I've seen the best, and I feel like I'm mentally prepared, like more than ever. When I first got back, it was just more so like just pressure on myself, like not from no one else, it was all within me, just demanding a lot from myself, not understanding that I just set out a whole year, and instead of me easing my way back in, I starting off with just forcing a lot of things and rather than just letting the game come to me. Right now, my biggest thing is just next shot. You know, at St. John's, I did a lot of holding myself back, just like, you know, my shot attempts were very limited. So, you know, when I missed a shot, I was big on just being on myself and just almost trying to force myself to make the next shot. I feel like here, the coaches and my teammates, everyone around me is just allowing me to be comfortable. And every time I release the ball, I just believe it's going in. And miss or make, you know, my team and my coaches want me to shoot the next one just as if I made the last one.
Hope you enjoyed that feature on Brian Trimble. And Coach, do you mess with him at all? You just let him do his thing in practice? Is somebody coaches him in shooting, or is it just God-given?
You know what? Honestly, he comes in, Joe, every day. And I mean literally every day that we work out early. Comes in, works a lot with Coach Pridgeon.
Okay.
And does his shooting routine. And it's a great lesson for young shooters. I mean, it's, you know, no accident he's making shots. He works at it, you know. Takes a lot of pride in it. Comes in, turns his music on, and he rolls.
Okay.
And so it's important to have a routine, and he does that. And then, you know, obviously, like I said earlier, he's an elite shot maker.
Yeah.
You know, and there's times where he takes some of them. We joke about it on the air after games. You know, that one was taken from Geneva, Switzerland.
Yes.
That one was taken from Cancun, Mexico. Or, you know, some of them aren't the greatest shots, but he makes them at an efficient percentage, and they're good for him. But what's a good shot for him may not be good for everybody else. So, you know, it's fair is not equal, as my old good friend Clark Kellogg would say. So, you know, I think that, you know, he's got a real bright future. I think we can even add some more dimensions to his game. Good. He's getting better defensively, but at the end of the day, elite shot maker.
Yep. Well, it's one of the biggest wins of the season, Friday night at Kent State. We're going to come back and take a look at highlights right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes H-Jacks Plumbing and Heating. Find them at hjacks.com.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
Well, it's always one of the biggest games of the year. Friday night, nationally televised audience up at Kent State. And Coach, you guys came out with about as good a defense as I've ever seen in the first half. You completely shut Kent down.
We did. We came out with great energy, great detail, and obviously that was the theme coming off the Toledo game, was improving our defensive details. And that first half, from a defensive standpoint, we said after the game, I mean, I felt like we had so many stops in a row to start the game. I kept looking up. It's 5-2.
Yeah.
I felt like we should have been up like 10-2.
You're exactly right.
You know, we had plenty of opportunities there to create some distance early, but our defense was really consistent throughout that first half, and I thought about as well as we played it all year.
Let's go back and pick up highlights. As we said, nationally TV audience sitting in on this one, and they saw a Zip team that maybe played their best half of the season. Coach, as you said, we jump out to a 5-2 early lead, but we really should have been up, as you said, a lot more than that, because we had a couple offensive opportunities, just couldn't separate from them.
Yeah, we
early.
didn't convert some of those stops early, but we finally started doing that, started making some shots, and I really felt like attack the paint. You see Greg Tribble attack the paint there. That results in a Cam Reese open jumper off penetration. And we started to attack the paint. And once we did that and played inside-out basketball, good things started happening on the offensive end as well.
See the score 9-4 is 11:21 to go in the first half. Then Akron begins to hit some shots, and Brian Trimble with a string of three-pointers.
Yeah, he started rolling, and then you see these last two passes in the pick-and-roll game there. Reek should probably make that one there, but we stay with it. Ball starts popping around. B-Trim gets loose and makes another three, but we started really attacking that paint. So I thought our guys did a great job with our game plan.
Good defense continues all the way through that first 20 minutes of play, and the Zip lead goes from 9 to 11 and then to 14 on a three-pointer by Lauren Christian Jackson. Just kept adding on in that first half a little bit.
We did, kept getting stops, and then at the other end kept getting quality shots through attacking the paint, and our guys, you see, just really unselfish there, inside-out basketball, Jackson to Winnie, and we started making some plays. Our defense really spearheaded it, though.
Zips are going to have a 20-point lead at the half at 38-18. But, Coach, you and I have both been around college basketball. You never feel safe in a rivalry game. Even though we're up by 20, still got 20 minutes left to play.
You don't, and I wasn't very happy after the game with how we finished the game, obviously, but I wanted our guys to enjoy it because it's hard to win over there.
Yeah.
It's hard to win on the road and in a rivalry game. So the guys have worked hard and made a lot of sacrifices. But at the end of the day, we'll get to the film, and we didn't execute great, especially end of game. We got to get that cleaned up. A lot to learn from with that. But, yeah, we did some good things, and, happy for our guys, as I said after the game, and I'm happy for Zips Nation. I know how important this game is to our community, to the university, and to Zips fans.
Yeah, there's a lot of happy Zip fans on Friday night all around northeastern Ohio, no doubt about that. More of the same early in the second half, Coach. Defense continues to play well, up 24, 52-28. Brian Trimble stays hot, hitting more three-pointers. Then the Zip lead starts to shrink a little bit. As you mentioned on the post-game radio, Kent, so they're not going to quit. They're going to keep coming after you.
No, they're not. And it's interesting. Yesterday I'm at home, and Alabama's playing Missouri in a top 25 game, and Missouri's up 20-25 in the second half, and ends up being like a one-possession game with a couple minutes to go. And my wife said, see, it happens in other games too.
Exactly.
She knew I wasn't very happy about how we finished the game on Friday night. But, we've got to make sure that we do what we're supposed to do late game. We missed 1-and-1s. We turned the ball over. I didn't think our press offense was great, but we had enough there to finish it and win by 11.
We don't have time to talk about those T-shirts you had, Coach, but Coach John McClendon, who I watched coach at the old Cleveland Pipers. I didn't remember he was up there coaching in Cleveland. What a great guy as far as college basketball.
Oh, no question about it. You know what? The first time I heard Coach's name was when I played for and coached with Coach Paul Patterson at Taylor University. And we did these drills called McClendon drills, defensive drills that were really toughness drills, defensive footwork, stance, pretty rigorous. And I've kind of taken those, and we still do them here, and we did them at Illinois and Ohio as well. And but yeah, no, it was a great honor and a privilege to represent him on Friday night in the Racism Initiative.
There's a great story behind John McClendon and that game with Duke, I think, right? Way back when.
It was a secret game,
We don't have time to talk about that right now, but if you have time, look it up. Just a great story. Big win over Kent. We'll probably see them again also. We're going to take a break, come back with our weekly player awards right after this.
Even if this is the three-point line, and this is the hoop, that counts. if this is home ice, and this is sticking the landing. Kids will find a way to keep playing the sports they love, and we'll keep helping them. After an injury, Akron Children's is dedicated to getting your child back to the game as quickly and safely as possible, however they play it. Learn more at akronchildrens.org/sports.
I'm here. This isn't a stop on my way somewhere else. This is my way up. This city, this university, Akron is where I learn to outwork and outsmart. To aim high, then raise the bar. Because Zips never settle for less. No entitlement, no excuses, just my education. My future. I'm on the rise, and we are Akron.
Okay, welcome back. It's time for our weekly player awards. Whose stock is rising? A young Zip. It's coming up in the league and also with the program. And Coach, 6'7" sophomore Enrique Freeman, we're going to take a little different approach. Everybody knows his stock is rising within our basketball program, but just listen to the latest stats as far as the conference. Enrique Freeman, #1 in field goal percentage, #1 in rebounding, 9.7 a game, #1 in block shots, #1 defensive rebounding. Not too shabby for a walk-on.
Yeah, no, and we certainly don't, we view him as obviously a huge part of what we're doing, and not only this year, for years to come, and he's getting better rapidly. We've obviously told the story previously, but he's so fun to coach, Joe, because of his motor, as you see there, him chasing that rebound on the backboard there, just the way he his attitude, his effort, who he is as a teammate. He represents a lot about what we want to be about. Yeah. And so it's exciting to see his growth, development, and improvement.
He's got to be living the dream, Coach. Coming to Akron on an academic scholarship, thought about playing, then finally decided to, and now he's one of the top players in the league.
I had a meeting with him before the year started, and we saw it coming in the preseason, and I gave him the Duncan Robinson article. And Duncan Robinson plays for the Miami Heat. Yeah. Went to Williams College as a Division III player, transferred to Michigan. Unfortunately, I had to coach against Duncan Robinson. He's a terrific player. And now he's with the Heat and played in the NBA Finals last year. And I gave him the story and all the articles, and I said, my man, I'm just telling you from watching this deal, I want you to know, no matter what anyone tells you, no matter what your path has been to this point, you belong at this level.
For sure.
And so he really's gravitated to that. His work ethic is tremendous, and he just continues to get better. And I think now, as he's had some success, obviously, that breeds confidence. And so now he's understanding, I think, and feeling, hey, there's no question about it, I can compete at a really high level.
Congratulations to Enrique Freeman, our player of the week. Again, it goes to Lauren Christian Jackson. Listen to this, 32 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 rebounds at Toledo Tuesday night. Then he comes back with 21 points, 8 assists, 1 steal, 5 rebounds Friday night at Kent State. And after the game, Coach, we had him on radio, and all he could talk about were some of his mistakes he made in the final 10 minutes.
No, we're walking off the floor after winning the rivalry game, and he says, my bad, Coach. I stunk. That just shows you his standard he has for himself, as you just read those numbers. And I have a high standard for him as well. And I told him, I said, man, we're in this together. We got to play a little bit better, to close a little bit better. I got to coach a little bit better. We all can get better. But that just shows you his mindset, man. He's a leader, takes responsibility for our team, for his play, doesn't have excuses, and a lot to be learned by our younger guys from watching him on a daily basis.
Glad fans all across the country got to watch him play on Friday night. And then this Friday night, Coach, another nationally televised game as we go down to Oxford to take on Miami, 7 o'clock tip-off. They got beat by Buffalo on Saturday, but they've had some good outings the last couple of weeks.
They really have. I think they've played really well. I watch them on film. They're very connected. Yeah. I like their chemistry as much as I have any of the teams I've watched that we've competed against from Miami over the 4-year window here. Jack's done a great job with them. And you're right. I mean, they're difficult to deal with. They're good defensively. They compete. They get after the ball. And then offensively, they've got more weapons. They're really connected, as I said, and they play well together. So it'll be a great challenge in Oxford.
Day Grant, Delonte Brown, a couple of good players.
Really good players, double-figure scores, and we'll have our hands full. You know, and obviously another opportunity to play on national television.
Yeah.
We were supposed to play on national television Tuesday. We had earned that. We have it on Friday in Oxford. The following Friday, we have another one that's scheduled right now. And when you're getting those opportunities, Joe, it usually means your team's playing pretty well. So I'm happy for our guys.
Congratulations on the Kent win. Enjoy it, Zip fans. We're back next week with more Zips Basketball Weekly.
Wentz Financial Group presents Zips Basketball Weekly with John Groce. Contributing sponsors include Akron Children's Hospital, Bryant Heating and Cooling, and the Spaghetti Warehouse.